Good day. My name is Venessa T'Hart, and I'd like to share my COVID experience, COVID fatigue, and how I recovered through play. So, no one has escaped the devastating impact of COVID. We may have tested for a positive for COVID, some more than once. We've lost loved ones, friends, colleagues. Some people have lost jobs, suffered financially, struggled with the confinement and restrictions of lockdown, and felt a real disconnect from family and friends, and experienced a range of stress and depression and anxiety during this period. And it's been a long 2 years. So lockdown was a huge adjustment for everyone. It felt strange to be reorganizing your life around this worldwide pandemic that initially didn't feel real, despite what we were seeing on the news, until it struck you personally. So I lost two brothers during 2020, and despite following stringent COVID protocols and healthcare, I tested positive for the COVID Delta variant, and it was a very, very difficult period in my life. And even post those 14 days, it wasn't just a case of you just recovered and bounced back again. It really took months and months to recover. And I just didn't recognize myself. There were, days where I would thrive, and then days where I barely survived. Suffered a lot from brain fog, fatigue, was very anxious, and lost, focus very easily. I couldn't multitask, and I believe I could multitask pretty well before. And as much as I missed connecting with family and friends, and even my colleagues, I just found myself declining invitations. Didn't want to go out, just wanted to stay at home and be safe, stay in my bubble. And it wasn't always a very happy bubble. And, working from home, most of our meetings are via Teams or Zoom, and I really would have to psych myself up, just to go online and try and connect. And we know how difficult it is doing virtual connection, with people. So just psyching myself up just to engage, and then extremely drained afterwards. I consider myself to be a very a positive person, very kumbaya, and I really, really had to dig deep, and lots of time for reflection, lots of prayer to resuscitate myself. And it literally was a physical resuscitation, because it has been very hard to sustain these continuous changes in behavior that just didn't feel natural. And then just suffering from this continuous restrictions, COVID fatigue, COVID burnout. And, then we go from days of where we just want to, flip between throwing caution to the wind, and just be done with all of this. And then the next moment you have that sense of anxiety and being anxious when you hear someone, recently being tested positive for COVID, or we see the numbers are increasing. So, in order to try and get out of this, it's just finding ways just to uplift yourself. And that's why I just love this year's World Play Day theme: rediscover play, recover through play. And we know play is the vitamin D that we all need. And, during this period, COVID has taught us how important it is to take care of our well-being, how important it is to have that physical, meaningful connections with people and friends and family. And whereas before we would never talk about if we felt depressed or anxious, it was just something we didn't talk about. But now we can, and we realize it's important to share that. And, you know, it's okay not to be okay as long as we don't stay there. So for me, how I recovered, and, you know, days when I'm feeling meh or blue, I just think and sing to the Madagascar song, I like to move it, move it. And you know, movement fires and wires the brain. So just getting up and getting physical, dancing around, just, you know, going for walks. But so important to be physical, because no matter what we're feeling, just being physical actually just that, you know, invigorates our whole body. And although I won't go and run the comrades, but I will get and move around. So yeah, so dancing around, listening to music really has helped me. Music is just medicine to the soul. I just found myself, you know, enjoying. I love winter. I love sitting on my balcony and watching the beautiful winter sunsets, just being quiet and reflecting. And sometimes we need that quiet time just to connect with ourselves and just to help us reflect and just, you know, manage the day and, you know, just build up strength, you know, for the next things that we need to do and achieve. So yes, so my pot plants I enjoy. I love doing DIY projects. Love being creative, making things, and you know, whether it's baking or whether it's just doing something artistic. I've recently discovered charcoal paint, so I have repainted dining room chairs and tables. I have repainted my lamp and de-stressed it. Love that. And I've also made new cushion covers, and I've recently started painting by numbers. And I find that really, really meaningful, and it's just so beautiful to watch all of this come to life. I'm just busy with my next project, is the Van Gogh Starry Night, painting by numbers, so it's going to be a masterpiece which I'll put up in my bedroom. I try and convince my kids to do some of the TikTok challenges, just to get up and be silly and play and have fun. I tried to convince them during lockdown to do the Jerusalem challenge with me. They weren't interested, but those are the type of things that I actually love to do. And we just know that, you know, just playing and just having fun and laughing actually is just what our soul needs and to help us recover. And I think for everybody, we've all got different stories and challenges that we've endured, but just to remember that, you know, every storm runs out of rain, and we need the rain in order to see a rainbow. We need the darkness to see the moon and the stars. And after that darkness comes the dawn and the sun. And so we need those phases, you know, just to go through to see the beauty. And with every devastation, there is the rainbow that comes out afterwards. And I think it's just making those connections, finding things that are meaningful to us, that bring us joy, and that we have fun and that we play. And, you know, life is very different now in many, many ways. And just taking this year's Will Play Day theme, just to rediscover play, rediscover what brings us joy and happiness, rediscover friendships and making those connections as physical, meaningful connections with family and friends and even our colleagues. And just to recover through all that we have been through, and taking care of our well-being, and just making each moment count. And life is not measured by how long you live, but how you live. So why not be it filled with playful moments, making precious memories, playing with our children, helping them rediscover play, playing outdoors, indoors, with whatever, you know, using recycled material to come up and create and make things. And I think that's very important. And I really challenge all of you, you know, to find moments where you can engage and play and share your stories. You know, you can share it to the TLASA, marketing at TLASA.org, your World Play Day events that you have, or even your personal stories of how you recovered through play, how you helped your children recover through what they've been through, and just making each moment count and filling it with playful moments and just reconnecting and having fun. And I think that's so important to share these stories. And I just hope this has helped you. Just loved sharing it with you, and I thank you very much.